Hush, Loki, that's the only Polish I know, and we're not gonna hear it. I think I am a special kind of stupid. I think I found my mystery god. And well, wondering if that lovely speech I gave you about Jesus was about Jesus at all, or if it was about someone else. I do believe my mystery god is Veles, who some associate with Loki and some associate with, I think, Mithras. And the weird thing is, I was just watching a video and it felt like somebody walked across my grave because um I forget I'm Slavic. I'm like, it doesn't matter, and I'm American. It doesn't apply to me. But yeah, Polish people are Slavic. I forget that. Obviously, I'm not mostly Polish. Anyhow, yeah, and the weird thing was when I'm watching this video, as the, Christianity came, Peron and Veles became, basically Jesus and the devil, and I'm like, no, 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 because I was always getting these, kind of trickster kind of associated with animals and stuff, and I was getting bears there for a while, and, all this weird stuff, and I'm like, okay, alright, Veles, and I'm not going to like just smoosh him together with Loki, though some people I think do, and if they don't care, they don't care. But then I'm like, do I have Jesus or do I have Baron now? And why would I have them? Because I'm like, I keep trying to tell Loki, and your DNA does not work this way, by the way. We found that out, but my father was half German, half Italian. My mother was half Pole, half German, so I should be half German, quarter Pole, quarter Italian, and I'm like, why would the Slavic gods find me? And just how long have they been here? Have they always been here? And I guess it makes sense that maybe they would masquerade as, the religion that was placed on top of them, because Veles got shattered into the devil plus some other some saints. And he's not evil, he was the balance. It was like the same thing with most religions. It was a balance between, you needed the god that made everything grow, and you needed the period of rest. I have no idea who I have in my house. I think they're enjoying it, and I honestly keep trying to tell Loki, I'm like, I'm not Slavic, it doesn't count, and he's looking at me like, you're special kind of stupid, but I'm like, I'm Polish, and as I was searching Veles, like, darn if the map of the Slavic people came up, and since I'm a special kind of stupid, I'm like, where is Poland anyways? There's this bright yellow country at the top of the map, and I'm like, where's Poland? My ancestors would be so proud. But it actually goes back to, in all seriousness, it goes back to when my grandmother was raising my mother. She did not pass down any tradition. She did not even pass down the language. And even though my grandmother learned a little bit, her mother did not pass down the language because, it was saw as a big shame because you wanted to fit in. You were in America now, you wanted to fit in. At the time, that's how it was. And you had to speak English. You had to do away with all the things that made you Polish or German or Italian. That's not the same way now, hopefully, for you young people. But at the time, it was. You did not pass down your languages. So unfortunately, I don't speak Polish. Not a lick of it. I mean, I know like a few words, but I think I picked them up more from reading books than I picked them up from my grandmother, because my grandmother could say her prayers in Polish, in Polska, and we would, there is a huge Polish element here, so a Slavic element as well. So you are inundated in the language and the culture, but if nobody taught it to you, you don't magically learn it. It's not like it was passed down in my DNA. And I've tried, and I look at Polish, and I'm like, I'm never gonna figure this language out. It's the same way with like, if I try to learn any language, I'm not good with languages. So it's not just the Polish. I just can't. with language. I'm bad with language. So it's interesting, and that kind of shows you how much we are cut off from our past. I know every American story is different, but like for people in my generation, it wasn't passed down. For some families, it might have been a source of pride. It might have been different if they would have lived like in a Polish community. Maybe they passed the stories down, or if they would have been first generation, or they would have been the ones come over here, they may have known the stories. But, you know, to me, it's like completely lost. I was never taught anything at all about my Polish ancestors. I have no idea who they are. And same for my German and Italian ancestors. I think I know more about the Italian ancestors because that half of the family completely forgot their German than I know about any of my German ancestors, which is sad. But it looks like Veles is in, and I kind of get that they're ambivalent, because a lot of the stuff I was giving to Loki, Veles would accept as well. So I'll try to treat them as two separate gods to give them that honor and respect, since it's, you know, obviously two different pantheons, but at the same time, I can see how they overlap in how they were both, you know, they were both transformed into this devil trickster figure, because they're both tricksters. So we found our mystery god, and I don't know how far it will go. I made him food. And I made him tea, asked for tea. I don't know. And it's really interesting because what I learned about him, a lot of it just clicked because he's often seen as a serpent, or like different descriptions of him were given, but like a serpent on like black wool, I believe, and living in the underworld and like rolling over the dead, but also this trickster deity that keeps coming up, and it's like the balance of the year. So it's interesting. So I will let you know if anything happens, but it's, you know, he's never worked with me in that Slavic construct, but he is a stickler for study, for pushing me to study magic, to, you know, get things right. I think this describes who the one is that likes music so much, because he's also like a patron god of musicians, traveling musicians. And I just feel very foolish right now, because I had looked at the Polish pantheon before, because I was like, who are the gods of Poland? Because there's this one book I have about there being this Polish god that would take the form of a black cat, supposedly, and protect barns, but I never, ever, ever found this god, and I don't know if it would be Veles, or it would be another name for Veles, or who would be, and I probably just slaughtered his name 80 times, so I'm sorry if you are from Poland, but, you know, I'm going by, you know, like, what few scraps of video I could find. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering where the red hair came from, it came out of a bottle. so don't look at my hair and think she doesn't look Slavic. Yeah, it explains my pale coloring too, I think. I think, like, the Polish really came through in me, because I look like the Polish people in my family. I don't look like the Germans or the Italians. I look like the Poles. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.